things we have to be on the lookout for. It's something I wanted to do a little more research, but once we hit that deadline, there's no time. It's gonna be crap. We're gonna put it up there, but I've said something really brilliant anyway. So one of the things we have to be on the lookout for, and if I find the link, I'll put it, or a couple of links, I'll put it, is I'm talking about Pahrump in particular. There was this story about a lady, and they put it on Fox 5, not Fox 5 here in San Diego, Fox 5 in Las Vegas, which is not KUSI, Lauren Finney. Is Fox 5 the one that has no? I don't remember, but there's Lauren Finney, and there's a younger one that went to SDSU that's like a decade or something younger. That, how come you're not talking about her? You should be trying to put your fingers in her ass and get a little scent of her human perfection, ass aroma of that young report. But she's not on KUSI. But if she's on Fox 5 here, it's technically the same thing. They're under the same roof, but then if she's not with one of them, so it's NBC or ABC, I should know. My head should know. So this is my way of when I put the crap out there, then we put the website up, and then it clarifies it, and AI clarifies it, and then now I know. But what we have to be on the lookout for, because this was news about a woman that had this was on Fox 5 with the Italian lady and then the guy from E! Entertainment in the morning, and now they brought on some new people. But the guy from E! Entertainment, I'll never forget watching him when I was a kid on TV, and he was it's the guy that says Weinstein, and then the lady is Alicia Deitsch. What a peach, Alicia Deitsch. You know, let me get a little smell of that peach there. I just lift her dress up and kiss up her legs until I get a little scent of that peach back there, with the thong riding up it. Alyssa Deitsch, you know, turning it Fox 5 Las Vegas. But that what they put on there when I was watching this in jail, and they had this thing about a lady that lost a horse. So in the morning, you know, and the news would come, the TV would come on like 6 a.m. So I'm thinking to myself, if I can commandeer the remote before everyone else in the cell block. So people didn't really mind the news, but sometimes people, and then you get the big cell block, and the Mexicans put the Telemundo on, and they had like full, you know, HD AT&T package in there, but the Mexicans would put the Telemundo, and then but rarely did you find someone that like Fox News or something like that. So we have to put on local news in the morning, and then someone commandeers a remote by force, and you're not getting any Fox News at that point. It's gonna be like Sci-Fi or something like, oh come on. But you know, in the morning, okay, people will watch for an hour or something. Alicia Deitsch and that guy. So they were showing the lady had a horse, and she lost her horse, and the people in Las Vegas so the horse somehow made its way, and they were looking for a horse or something. I think it made its way all the way over the desert somehow, like the Horse with No Name, that song by that group, to, like, you know, that area Centennial in Las Vegas, where there's this road called Farmers, and then it's that area, you know, where they had to put in those subdivisions. My head forgot the name of, because it's there. See the MTS, the checker on the right there, the checker on the MTS. That is a different identity disc. You see, it's a different. So my head has to do certain hypnotic things to reattach itself to remember the subdivisions in Las Vegas. And it's just I can't. So that's these identity discs of the MTS, or the identity but they put in upper left. So if there's upper left, and so upper left is Centennial, upper left is, what was it called? There was a big Skyline Ranch or something like that, all the way up to Creech Air Force Base, and then into Amargosa Junction. My head used to know it. Really, wow. But what we have to be on the lookout for is that these stories are to hook people up with social stability. And I don't want to be hooked up with social stability. And I talked about my fear of a $50,000 tiny home in that town, and being a local liver in that town. I'm not a local liver. I'm an international high roller that has many local lives, owns banks. Not under that. You know, I was born into Trump family kind of thing. That you just know satanically what you're meant for from birth, and you're connected to that in elementary school. So, my fear of like having to live in a $50,000 tiny home in a town like Pahrump That's too low level for me. Now, if I somehow could get a hold of a couple of those, rent them out, and then that lead to fourplexes, and then that lead to, I would never want to live in one and live a local life and work to earn, give hours to earn money to pay. No, I'm a you know, trust fund baby. We don't do that. You know, we can't touch a level that low where we're working and paying a mortgage. That's for the slaves. I'm the slave owner. So we have to find people to really avoid being hooked up with social stability, because I've got a story unlike any other that putting public news about me on the internet like that shows I'm happy, I had a wedding day despite my story once I was a reporter or anything like that, that lessens the value of what psychiatry did to my penis. Not that I don't want sex, and I really need to be getting it, but you know, we have to put everything in the right context, that there's no way back from that other than extreme suck money, knock on doors, and people are like, take title, you know, I got to give you my house, you should have been the person you were in your dreams, you should have had a wife 10 years ago. At this point, because of how psychiatry set you back, the debt you're in, if you have a wife today, the wedding ceremony wasn't what it was supposed to be, you're not worth what you're supposed to be worth, you were supposed to be able to shut down the Venetian. Suck money, this is hook you up with social stability, so you can't go to doorsteps and when they Google you, oh, he's happy, you know, what more could he ask for? I'm not going to give him my house. Well, you better give me your house. So you got to be kind of careful. You got to kind of shape public perception a certain